Hi, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about comparing irrational numbers. Specifically, we're going to be looking at square roots of non-perfect squares. So for example, the square root of 74. Now, when I look at this, I can look at a calculator and we'll check our answers with a calculator. But the very first thing I notice is I look and I see is 74 square, a perfect square. So I find it easiest if I start by making a chart or a table to talk about my perfect squares that I can refer back to as I'm working. So I'm going to make a quick chart. 1 times 1 equals 1, so the square root of 1 equals 1. 2 times 2 equals 4, so the square root of 4 equals 2. 3 times 3 equals 9, square root of 9 equals 3. I want you to finish it and then compare yours to mine. I'm going to stop right here. You are welcome to keep going. I'm going to refer back to this table. While you are first learning this, I recommend making this table a couple times. That way, you know when you sit down at a test or an emergency situation, you already have this information available to you and you know you can retrieve it from your brain. So let's talk about this square root of 74. When I look at my list of perfect squares right here, I notice that 74 is between 64, so it's greater than 64, and 81. So it's between these two perfect squares. And that means that if I have the square root of 64, the square root of 74, and the square root of 81, 74 is between those two numbers. So the square root of 74 is between the square root of 64, which we know is 8. We don't know what this is yet. We're going to be approximating it. And then we know that the square root of 81 is 9. So I know square root of 74 is somewhere between 8 and 9. I'm going to go ahead and create myself a number line where 8 is down here. We got 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, 8.8, 8.9, and there is our 9.0. Somewhere between here and here, because this is the square root of 64, and that is the square root of 81. 74 is somewhere between here. Ask yourself, is it closer to 64 or 81? which one is it closer to? So when I do my math, it's a little bit closer. It's not right here in the middle, and this is the middle, right? 8.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 8.5. I would put it a little bit closer to 8.6. So I would say the square root of 74 is right about here. Remember, we're approximating, we're putting about. So when I put equals, it means that's it, right? Square root of 64 equals 8. Square root of 81 equals 9. Square root of 74 is approximately 8.6. Some of you might have said, nah, I think it's closer to 8.7. Some of you might say, that's closer to 8.5. But we're going to go ahead and do an approximate. And because every once in a while we just want to go in and check our answers. So you've shown your work. Now you want to see how accurate are you. Pull out our handy dandy calculator. And we type in, oh, I can't do it on this calculator. Let's do the square root of 74. Oh, how about if I clear it out? And we do the square root of 74 equals, sure enough, it's 8.60. So we know that we got close. We did a good approximation. I used my calculator to check, but I used my reasoning to get my approximation. Let's go ahead and try another number. Let's say I did the square root of 12. I wrote 18, but I said 12. Let's do the square root of 12. Remember, I'm referring back up to my table over here, even though you may not see it. So I'm going to come up to the 12 is between 9 and 16. That means that the square root of 9 is less than the square root of 12 is less than the square root of 16. And I know the square root of 9 is 3. It's less than the square root of 12. And I know the square root of 16 is 4. So I know now my answer is somewhere between 3. Here's my 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, and here's my 4. Now when I think about 9 and 16, which one is 12 closer to? We have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 3 from 9 to 12, but there's 4 from 12 to 16. So I'm going to put it either between, I would say closer to 3.4. This is where I approximate it's going to be. Some of you might have said 3.3. That's my approximate. So I'm going to put the square root, oh, I forgot my square root sign, of 12 is approximately 3.4. And then I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator. I'm going to clear it out. square root of 12 equals, I get 3.46. So really it could have 3.5 would have worked too. So 3.46, 3.5, both would have been perfectly good examples. So go ahead and try some new problems on your own.